Okay, part 5. And I was telling you about the little stable up the river. Don't want to say the name. I have my reasons. I keep calling it the little stable. It is not a put down. It is actually a compliment because 2,000 years ago, something miraculous and grand came out of a stable that man thought was not fit for anything, yet a king came out of it. He started out in a stable. So don't be thinking that that little church there is not worthy of you. You think you're too good to come there and preach? You're not good enough to preach in the king's stable, actually, when you have an attitude like that. And we're better off without you there. I'm not going to lie. We're better off without that prideful attitude. We don't need that. What we need is humble people that will come and love us and try to feed us the right way. Those people love you that attend that church, and they have been coming to help you. Where have you been to help them at? Where have you been? They had lost too. They had lost too. Did you forget that? They've lost a lot lately too. But they were still there for you in your losses. And that's a long way for me to drive every church that I attend, pretty much. Except for maybe Bethlehem to Calvary. It's a pretty good distance for me, but I still do it. A church alive is worth the drive. I always heard when I was little. But let me tell you, the love of God matters. The presence of God matters. Let's keep the presence of the Lord in those places. Let's not think we're better than the others. We're supposed to be coming together in fellowship, one with another. What's wrong with y'all fellowshipping with that little stable? Because that little stable just might outshine all the rest of these churches around here. Because let me tell you, as far as the love of God, there is nothing and no one that can outshine that little beacon. Because despite every hardship it's had, they still congregate and meet there every Friday night at 7, except for when there is revival or something they've canceled for. But they're still there giving the Lord their all, even if they don't have a shepherd for the night, for whatever reason. Y'all call yourselves brothers in the Lord, and you can't even go help another brother when he's caught at work? Where's the camaraderie? Paul would have been there. He would have sent Timotheus. Where are y'all? You know, the man child is supposed to come forth in these churches. He's supposed to be born for the world to see and to know. But if you're going to take and stomp down the little guy and think it's nothing when God loves the little stables, those little churches have more heart, more humbleness, more gratitude than any of these big fancy places. And sometimes you can reach Jesus in those places when you can't reach him in these big fancy places. I don't know why I felt led to share that. This time I just did. It come up on me and I had to go with it. There's revival tonight. Brother Johnny Reed's in the little stable has taken off to come and help Brother Reed. They're going to be there tonight instead of at their own little church. And I hope I'm not offending anyone at that little church by calling that a little stable. It's because I expect something great to come out of that little church. Because God told me it was coming, and I believe Him. I believe Him with all my heart. I have seen God do some of the most amazing things. There have been times when He has told me things was coming, and it seemed hopeless. But it came. I don't care what God does. I just want Him to do something. Because I'm grateful for everything that He does. Now, I'm getting ready right here in just a moment to begin the video.
Peppers. Helpful and greatly appreciated.
But
there is a PayPal link
in the
description box.
Peppers, beans, tomatoes, and more, all being grown on a Manhattan rooftop. It's the kind of idea a science guy can get behind.
Y'all know this guy, right?
With a catchy name and signature bow tie, Bill Nye taught generations of kids that science can be cool.
Cool is just what I want to talk about.
Science versus
and now
creator.
Bill is back with a new show called The End Is Nigh.
It sure is.
And as the name implies, it's a little bit more bleak.
We have a disaster, world-ending disaster.
Let me just say, you notice how this show is coming out now? The end is nigh. When the end actually is nigh, they're trying to front run this stuff that's happening. Just bear that in mind as you hear this video.
And as you may know, I get killed at the end of the first half hour. Killed! But then in the second half hour, I come back. If we have systems in place, if we pay attention, if we just take steps, we can save
back.
the world. Viewer discretion is advised.
He comes
The
back.
series on NBC's
Well,
Peacock,
you know,
tackling
would that be
climate's biggest
reincarnation?
challenges like wild weather.
We have these
Don't believe
gigantic
it.
storms.
A hurricane.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been
Notice he says if we have systems in place. If we have systems in place. He didn't say if we have God in place.
I mean, one of those people standing out there. All right, sorry, I guess we lost community. Telling people stay indoors and you're outside.
Don't ever come out here! Savannah! Back to you!
What do you want this show to accomplish?
Change the world. No, that's the goal, man, is to get enough people to watch the show and think about an optimistic view of the future with science where we anticipate these global problems and do something about them. Together, we can save
the floor.
with science.
But Bill says that science also needs the support of lawmakers in the fight against climate change.
And that's going to take voting. It's going to take changing policies.
Changing the world a long way from his days as the science guy on Seattle's public broadcasting station.
Oh, here it is.
6 seasons, 100 episodes, 19 Emmys. What I think is most interesting, a lot of what's happening today and the scientists that are helping create that grew up and were inspired by your show.
I can't get over it. It's people who watch the show have so-called science-adjacent jobs. It's really, it's overwhelming.
It's a reminder that inspiration leads to innovation, even in the most unlikely of places. Look at these tomatoes.
I know, the cherry
tomatoes.
tomatoes want to do this.
Hold on a second. I'm just...
He's going for a nice ripe one. Oh, yeah, there you go. So good and so good for you. No.
Don't tell anybody. Like here on the Javits Convention Center rooftop in New York City, where an urban farm has sprouted up. To me, Bill, this is the most amazing thing. We got corn with the Empire State Building.
That is cool.
We have beehives over here?
Yeah, look at this, man.
Oh, wow. When you see roof gardens like these, does that give you a glimmer of hope? A glimmer of hope for the future?
Because, as I say all the time, Al, young people are not going to put up with this. They're going to get things done. They're not going to ignore problems like this. They're going to address them.
And for those that think it's too late to help the planet, Bill says, think again.
There's still time!
There's still time to give your heart to the Lord. I'm gonna follow Bill Nye's the Science Guy's lead on that one. There's still time to get on the ark, which is Jesus, today before he destroys the planet that they're trying to save. Because they actually believe that they can outdo the hand of God, which is hilarious, y'all. Come on. Those of you that are real Christians and reading your word know better. You know that this is a sinking ship. Glug, glug. I'm sorry. I guess I shouldn't be laughing at that. But I'm going home, y'all, so I'm excited. I'm going home. I'm going home, and this world is tanking. Blub, blub, blub. And Jesus is going to create a new heaven and new earth in which dwelleth righteousness. That's where I want to live. I don't want to live in all this sin and deviateness. I'm sorry, I don't. There is no desire in me to be like that. And if you expect that from me, I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It's gone. Only thing you're going to get from me from here on is crazy, crazy, crazy. Because that is what I am. That's what I'm going to be for the Lord. That is my talent. I am nuts. And I'm going to stay that way. And I love the Lord. And I will see you in part 6.